Hi there, Alana Corso, managing broker, co-founding partner of Dwell Realtors, coming to you this week to talk about what's it like to sell your house during an international pandemic, coronavirus. The real estate market has unstalled a bit, and I wouldn't say it's back to normal, but it's definitely things are proceeding, especially since here in San Mateo County and Santa Clara County, we are now allowed to show owner-occupied homes. So if you're considering selling your house and you need some guidance on what to expect, on what does it look like when you're selling your house during shelter-in-place quarantine as things are starting to open up. So first and foremost, safety matters. And the California Association of Realtors has been working closely with, under the guidance of the CDC and OSHA and, all the different entities to make sure that our clients, their families, and our agents and our staff are safe. And so they developed certain protocol and procedures for us to follow in order to continue to show and for real estate transactions to proceed. With that, so in selling a house, we're required to post this sign, very visible for people to see, and it's going to look a little different when you're showing houses. They can only be shown by appointment, and it can be one agent with two members living from the same household. And usually appointments should be spread out, pretty far so you're not overlapping with any other groups. And one of the requirements is I'm going to show you I have this really cute flamingo mask because I'm the flamingo fairy that one of my Dwell coworkers gave me. But this is normal, so you have to be showing property in your mask. And another requirement is gloves. So we have to be wearing gloves. Oops, can I get it on? There's my glove. You have to wear booties on your feet, and you're not supposed to touch as few surfaces as possible. Have disinfecting wipes. One of the tricks that a lot of us have when showing is to be holding on to a disinfecting wipe to open the key box to get into the house, open the door, use the key by holding that disinfecting wipe, but just to make sure that we're keeping surfaces clean again, because the safety of our clients and their family members and our agents is of the utmost importance. So, but it definitely looks different, and especially as the weather gets up, wearing these face masks is hard, and but it's it's kind of our new normal. So the other component that matters a lot now is technology. I've always been a utilizer and user of various different technologies, and a standard part of my listing and marketing a home for my clients includes a lot of technological services for marketing. I believe in it. Those are more important now than ever because there are no open houses and there are no brokers tours. We need the consumer, the potential buyer, to be able to see the house in as many lights as possible before they actually step foot in the house, because showings are somewhat limited, right? You're only going to maybe go 1-2 times to see that house, and you want to be able to virtually see it as good as possible. So the services that I was using prior to coronavirus, and I continue to use that are super important, is 3D Matterport technology. Here's an example of what their virtual walkthrough. It's a very immersive experience that lets you kind of move up and around and down. Floor plans are really important, so you can kind of see what the lay of the house is and what's where. Also having like a good property website talking about the amenities and features. You can only write so much in your ad copy of the MLS. So sometimes those property websites can really showcase a listing. And then another thing that I'm a real big fan of is a property video, and hiring a professional videographer to go through and videograph the property and kind of show all the different kind of assets of the house is super imperative. Another way we can showcase houses in a new way is through virtual open houses and virtual tours, in that sense, where you can utilize Zoom, Facebook Live, FaceTiming with people to kind of create that immersive experience in the house before they have to step foot in the door. So the third component, what's kind of changed a bit, is time. So back in March, when shelter in place started and quarantine, and everything was kind of on lockdown, our local MLS Listings Inc., halted days on market. So with that, your listings, say you put it on the market March 20th, and I was doing my internet search of new listings, and I noticed that all these houses all have 0 days on market, but their list date was March 20th. So when they halted the days on market, the time got our statistics that we use for days on market got skewed. And so you have to really kind of look into that and dive deep and understand like what the true days on market is versus what coronavirus days on market is. And effective May 16th, the MLS listings they are now accruing days on market again. So you'll see those start ticking, day by day as listings sit on the market. And with the time factor, because you're not doing open houses to like the regular public where there's neighbors and looky-loos, and you're doing appointments only to see the house, and they've already seen the house, in every virtual way possible, they're really qualified buyers. So your pool of people coming through the house are qualified, which means you might get an offer actually quicker than you would on a normal market cycle. We've seen some houses go pending in as little as like 2 or 3 days. It's not always the case. Sometimes, it's your typical 7 to 10 days. But it's really kind of understanding that time is a factor here. Also with loans, most lenders typically pre-coronavirus could do a 14 to 30 day close of escrow depending on your, pre-approval status and if you already had underwriting or not. In this instance, you're seeing kind of escrows maybe take a little bit longer so that there's, we can account for any unforeseen issues that might arise during the transaction. So that time factor, again, is something that you have to think about. So that's kind of a big overview of how it's going with, selling your house during coronavirus. If you have any questions, if you're confused, if you're overwhelmed, if you need help trying to figure it out yourself, just give me a call. I'm happy to help go over all of this with you and make sure we get your house sold and do it in the best way possible. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you next week.